What if I told you the sugar in your favorite snack, the milk in your morning coffee, the mac and cheese you like having with your family on Sundays, it could secretly be weakening your immune system and keeping your body in a constant state of inflammation? Hey everybody, it's Gary from fitnessfirstnutrition.com back with another video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. So today we're going to be talking about something that most people probably have no idea about: how sugar, lactose could be affecting your immune system, your energy, and even your long-term health. So I'm gonna break it all down from your bone marrow to your T cells, from sweet cravings to chronic inflammation. All right, so let's start with sugar. So sugar, the regular kind, table sugar, refined sugar, high fructose corn syrup, is in almost everything. And here's what most people don't realize. So sugar doesn't just cause weight gain or cavities, it actually disarms your immune system. How? Because your cells, the ones that fight off viruses, bacteria, inflammation, they're produced in the bone marrow. So your bone marrow is like the command center inside your bones. It creates red blood cells that deliver oxygen, platelets that help blood clot, and most importantly for today, white blood cells, which are the soldiers of the immune system. So you need red blood cells to deliver oxygen. You need oxygen to all your tissues, to your lungs to stay alive. Your blood clotting, if you get a cut, in order for the blood to stop, it needs to clot. So you need the platelets. So if you're on a blood thinner, that's why people keep bleeding, because it's harder for them to clot. And then your white blood cells, which obviously they fight off bacteria, inflammation, and infections. So when you eat a high sugar diet, your bone marrow, it slows down on the production of certain white blood cells, especially your neutrophils and your lymphocytes, which are two critical defenders of your health. In fact, studies show that just 100 grams of sugar, which is about the amount that you could find in a can of soda plus a donut, which is pretty common for some people, especially in America, it can reduce white blood cell function by up to 40% for up to 5 hours. So this isn't just something that just happens. And mind you, so if you have it throughout the day, then you'll be just compromising your immune system throughout the day. So you might be losing 40% of your immune function for 24 hours, for 48 hours, for 72 hours, because people are constantly putting this stuff into their bodies. So if you're constantly eating sugar, your immune system is constantly on pause. And guess what? That opens the door for inflammation, infection, gut disease, gut issues, fatigue, and it could slow down your workouts. It can hurt how fast you can recover from injury. So that's sugar. So what about lactose? So most people think of lactose intolerance as just bloating or gas from dairy. But what if I told you that lactose is the sugar in milk? Because that's what it is. So it could also be messing with your immune cells. So a study published on the NIH website, it said that they tested lactose, a specific immune cell called regulatory T cells, or Tregs. So Tregs are like the brakes on the immune system. So once your body has fought off a threat, the Tregs come and they say, "All right, the battle's over, calm down." But when lactose was introduced in the lab experiment, those Tregs, they stopped working properly. So that meant that the immune system stayed in attack mode, continuing to release inflammatory chemicals even when it wasn't necessary. And that's really bad news. That's no good. So the study found that two major inflammatory messengers were IFN gamma and IL-17. They stay high when lactose was present. So I'm going to explain those real quick. So IFN gamma, this is like the commander in chief. It revs up your immune cells to go full force during an infection, but too much leads to autoimmunity. It's not good. So the IL-17 is a powerful flare signal that brings in the immune cell. So it's helpful, but when it's always on, it can cause chronic inflammation. So conditions linked to too much IL-17 and too much IFN gamma is cirrhosis, Crohn's disease, I suck at saying that word, ulcerative colitis, asthma, rheumatoid arthritis, MS, brain fog, fatigue, cancer, many things. So yeah, so lactose isn't just about digestion. It could also silently be killing your immune system. Why is it important? So you might be thinking, I'm not lactose intolerant, I don't get bloated, so I'm good. But Here's the thing. So just because you don't feel it in your gut doesn't mean that your immune system isn't feeling it. So this is the invisible inflammation. So maybe you feel tired all the time, get sick more often than your friends. You struggle with skin issues, migraines, joint pain. You have brain fog you just simply can't explain. These could all be signs of low grade persistent inflammation, and things like sugar and lactose might silently be keeping that fire going. So I'm not saying dairy is evil. I personally try not to have dairy whenever possible, but your body and but I'm not telling you not to have it, but I'm just letting you know that your body may be telling you more than you think or more than you notice. So, what can you do about it? So, here's what I recommend. And no, I'm not selling you a cleanse. I'm not your doctor, but this is what I recommend. Try removing added sugars and dairy for 10 to 14 days. You don't need to go extreme. Just cut out sodas. This is extreme for some people, but cut out soda, candy, processed snacks, sweetened coffee, milk, cheese, yogurt, cream, and then pay attention. How's your energy? Are your joints less stiff? Fewer headaches, better focus, clear skin, so on and so on. You might be surprised what changes you see just from letting your immune system calm down. So then reintroduce one thing at a time and see what affects you. Or don't. If you feel good, don't. If you I am not going to tell you to reintroduce sugar if you don't want to. I personally I try to lower my sugar. I don't drink soda, I don't drink juice, so on and so on. But I'm not going to tell you to reintroduce these things unless you really feel like you have to. But if you are going to do it, just do it one thing at a time. So we're going to wrap this up. So, in short, sugar weakens the immune system by affecting your bone marrow. Lactose might be blocking the brakes, keeping the immune system turned on when it needs to be turned off. And most people don't never realize that. But you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be aware and you just need to try to do better. So if you found this advice helpful, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.